Welcome to Wandering Monsters. This is the show where we find weird games to play because weird games are awesome. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Aaron. This week we have Oregon Trail. This is a game made by, as you saw earlier, the Men Who Wear Many Hats.
Which is maybe the most awesome game developer company name I've ever heard.
It's pretty awesome. It is for iOS, Android, Facebook, and the version we're playing right now on Steam. It was released originally for the web, I'm assuming for Facebook, in 2011. And the collector's edition just came out fairly recently. As you can see, it is a old school game, and you can probably tell by the name, a parody of Oregon Trail, which is a game I think everyone who has gone to school in the last 20 years has played.
I was going to say, in school, right? On those old apples.
2GSs. I played on 2GS, but I'm old, so maybe you're playing on newer.
I don't know what it was. It was just a big gray box, and it had Oregon Trail on it, and that's about it.
And number munchers. That's a different. So yeah, it's a parody of Oregon Trail, except for in this parody, you are part of a zombie apocalypse in a world ravaged by a zombie apocalypse, I should say, and you're trying to make it from Washington D.C. to Portland, Oregon, which is apparently safe.
And it's like a boomerang route because the whole center of the country is all zombified.
Irradiated. The map has giant nuclear fallout symbols in the middle of it. So.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but some stuff went down, some zombies were made, and this, the Oregon Trail and zombie apocalypse went together way better than I expected they would have.
Well, it's almost seamless. A complete analog. Instead of a wagon, you have a station wagon. It's even got wood paneling. You have a group of friends, which you will be meeting shortly. We just named them earlier. That was our crew from Next Level.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have to fight zombies and hunt for food, scavenge in this case. You're not shooting bears like you were in Oregon Trail, but... No,
you're shooting zombies but not eating the zombies.
Yes, don't eat the zombies. That's probably terrible. And Clemens is the guy who's like your intro character. He's got the worst luck ever. He broke his arm.
He lasted a whole 5 minutes.
Broke his arm, got dysentery or cholera or something, and got bitten by a zombie.
Yeah, no, I thought he was going to be with us for the trip, but he just showed up long enough to be like, here's the game. I'm gonna go ahead and die now.
I'm a bamf, and now I'm dead. So here's our, you get to pick your supplies. There's, like in Oregon Trail, you have to choose...
here's some good zombie references. I just have to interject. There was Shaun of the Dead and the folks from Zombieland.
Yeah.
This whole game, they may have shoehorned as many zombie references as they possibly could fit.
And I'm not as familiar with the zombie. Maybe some of you can mention anything you see in the comments or whatever. I'm not as familiar with all of the zombie movies, but I'm sure there's a ton we missed.
Oh no, yeah, because they were just like, they give us these little sliding backgrounds for every city we stopped at, and all of them had these little hidden zombie movie references in them, and in full MS Paint glory, because that's pretty much what it looks like this game was made in.
Yeah, it's definitely got retro graphics. It's about as retro as graphics get. Oh, yeah.
No, yeah, everything, down to the text, like the sound effects when you're clicking on things, it's all super retro. Purposefully.
Yeah, obviously, they're parodying the game, and they want it to be visually, kind of referencing the game as well as mechanically referencing the game, which it does very well. And even some of the mechanics, like I said earlier, you get to pick what your starting stuff is. Do you want to stock up on bullets or batteries? Because you might have someone dick with it and ruin them.
Dean.
Or whatever. And then you can you have to, instead of fording rivers, you sometimes have to afford, I guess, a sea of zombies.
Yeah, we'll show that here in a little while. They've basically taken all the components of Oregon Trail and found the zombie equivalent to that, and it all fits really well. I mean, you're playing Oregon Trail. There's no two ways about it. You're just playing Oregon Trail with a facelift or a mask.
All of the good and bad things associated with that. I mean, it is we're going to get into this later on. But, you're going to do a lot of scavenging. You're going to do a lot of shooting zombies. You're going to do a lot of,
Yeah, there's only so many things you're going to do, and you're going to do them over and over. But, I mean, that's kind of... This game is built on the nostalgia. It's not something that I would say... For people who've never played Oregon Trail, you probably won't get it.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're a real big zombie fan or something. It is a quirky little game, so, I suppose if that's your shtick, then...
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Oregon Trail was not fun. I mean, it was fun, for its time. But, yeah, I guess if I had a real small, younger sibling...
Fording zombies. Sorry to interrupt, Sarah. Here's your fording zombies. You have your choices. Are you going to caulk the wagon, and or are you going to hire a guide, or are you going to look for a ford? That's essentially the same thing here.
Yeah. No, I guess I was saying, if I had a real younger sibling, they probably wouldn't get it. It would probably be very boring to them.
Yeah, and I'm sure the graphics would probably turn them off as well. Yeah, it's retro looking. If you're a graphics person, this may not be your game. Well, we're getting close to the end, so do we want to move on to our 3 good and 3 bads?
Sure.
While this is going in the background, Sarah is representing good this week.
Yeah, the 3 good things, top of the list for sure, head and shoulders. The music in this game was fantastic. Just really well done. I saw the composer's name flashed up there in the beginning. I'll have to go back and look at it. We can type it in the comments. But
Ben something it was.
No, fantastic. It had a retro sound to it, but it wasn't. It was varied. It was.
Sure.
It sort of had. It wasn't like the graphics are retro bad, and they're supposed to be. But like the music was actually kind of retro good.
Sure, you have the sound effects especially are very retro sounding, lots of blips and boops. But there's some orchestral stuff in the actual sound score, the music scores, and it's got this very noir feel to it, which is so fitting for a zombie game.
No, it was really good. We were very impressed. We noticed it right away starting it out that it was very
especially
good.
Since last week Reciteer, that was one of our complaints, was the music was not varied.
Yeah, it just wore on us after a while. No, definitely top of the list for good. The other thing we had was just the parody. I mean, it's an absolute perfect parody of Oregon Trail. Almost to a fault.
Everything is analogous.
It's
a 1-to-1. I think one of the reviews said it was a 1-to-1.
It basically is. It is Oregon Trail, like I said. They just painted over it. I mean, there's not really a lot of upgrades or innovations. So in that way, it's good because, if I wanted to play Oregon Trail in a sense, awesome. But to that as well. And then just the plethora of zombie references. It was the perfect setting, and they plugged probably as many as they could cram in. Like I said, going back and watching it, we saw more that we missed the first time, and so
there's probably some we missed because again, we're not experts in this.
Yeah, no, just really clever creation here.
3 bad things. The first and foremost were the shooting mechanics. This game it's obvious it was originally not made for the way we were playing it. Because like if you pulled, the shooting mechanics were you clicked on the enemy and pulled back towards you, and if you were off by a little bit to the left or right, the whole pointer just swung wildly from one side to the other. It's kind of frustrating at times. It's repetitive. Again, it's like Oregon Trail in many ways, a 1-to-1. So you're going to be scavenging a lot. You're going to be watching a lot of a station wagon rolling across the ground. And I mean, it's derivative. If you're not a fan of the original, you probably won't like this. Or if you're not nostalgic about the original, you probably won't like this. You may if you're a zombie fan.
Yeah,
but
this game had a very set purpose, and it fulfills that purpose, but it doesn't go beyond that purpose.
Sure. So all in all, I want to say I would think we were going to recommend this one.
Yeah, I mean it's very cheap. What did we say?
$5 on Steam. I bought it for $5 on Steam.
No,
and it wasn't even on sale, so I'm sure if you waited long enough, it'll be on sale again.
Yeah, $5 for a zombie facelift of Oregon Trail.
Sure, and it'll be we played for about an hour, made it about halfway through. We're going to play through the rest of it and post an update at some point. But I mean, for a few hours of fun, $5. I mean, it's cheaper than going to the movies.
That is true. Going to the movies is ungodly expensive.
All right, so that's going to be it for this week, and we'll be back in another few weeks with another random game.
All right, we'll see you later.
Bye.